All right, guys, happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the week already, and we are on to day 3 of our 4th week in social studies. Yesterday, we ended talking about Hernando de Soto, and today we're going to talk about 2 more explorers that came to Alabama. All right, the first one we're going to talk about is Tristan de Luna y Arellano. This is what he looks like. Notice the consistency with the beards in all of these explorers' pictures. I think that was quite the trend back then. He came to Alabama in 1559, which is 20 years after De Soto had already gotten there. He encountered a hurricane that ended up sinking his ship, and they destroyed all of his supplies. However, he did not want to give up on his journey, so they actually explored all of southern Alabama and Mississippi looking for supplies from the native villages that were already established there. However, when they started exploring and looking for these native villages, no one was there. There were no Native Americans. There was no one living in these villages. The villages were there, but there was no people. So where did they all go? When De Soto was there 20 years earlier, did he kill them all? Kind of. In a way, yeah, he did. Because remember all those diseases that we talked about that he brought over from Spain and from Europe that were not native to North America at that time? So all of those diseases ended up killing out a huge majority of the Native Americans that already lived there. So it wiped out entire villages. Like I said, the villages themselves were still there. The houses they built, the things like that were still there, but the people were not. All right, and then we're going to talk about Lasalle, the French explorer. So we're getting away from the Spaniards, the explorers from Spain, and now we're going to be moving into France. This is Lasalle in that top left corner. Spain was not the only country that was interested in Alabama. France had missionaries and explorers all over the place. The most famous of these French explorers was Robert Cavelier, Sieur de Lasalle. So that's his whole name, Robert Cavelier, Sieur de Lasalle, but they just really called him Lasalle. He sailed up the Mississippi in 1682, claiming everything he could for France, even land that had previously been claimed by Spain and the natives that lived there first. So you've got to remember that when these explorers are coming over here to America and claiming this land, that land was not theirs to claim. They were claiming land that these Native American tribes had already been living on for a long time. So the Spaniards, Spain, had already claimed this land that did not belong to them. And now LaSalle's coming in and claiming the land again for France. All right, this is de Tonty, and he was actually LaSalle's partner, Henry de Tonty. He became very famous with the natives because of his metal hook for a hand that he wore a glove on. His hand had been lost in a war fighting for France. So he became pretty popular because he had a metal hook. And that is not something that these Native Americans would have seen or been used to seeing. Alrighty, another quick lesson for today, but with a whole lot of information. You do have a short 4-question assignment on LaSalle and de Luna. So make sure that you go back into the folder and answer those questions. And remember, anytime that you're not sure, you can always come back to this PowerPoint, this lesson, and double check your information before you answer anything. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. We are halfway through the week. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I will see you right back here tomorrow.